Good evening. It's May 18th, 2026. I'm David Sadler, Director of Information Technology for Caroline County, and I'm here to give you the broadband update from the Broadband Advisory Committee. The Caroline Eastern Project, BADI 2023 project, as well as updates to the extension request. This project was awarded by DHCD and was initially scheduled to be October 23rd, 2023 through October 23rd, 2026. DHCD has granted a 6-month extension to this project. The project now must be completed by April 23rd, 2027. This is a joint project with Breezeline, Caroline County, and the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development. As of this evening, all areas south of Route 207 and 301 are now available for sale. If you live south of the 207-301 line, you may call Reggie Spivey, Breezeline Sales, at 410-490-6082. These areas pictured on the map are all areas that are open for sale. If you live in this area, please contact Reggie Spivey. GCV 18 and 19 are currently on schedule for sale as of June or July. So please listen up. There's been a few minor changes to these estimated dates. So again, 18 and 19 are currently scheduled for sale as of June or July. These areas on the map showing the areas around St. Mary's Church on Ladysmith Road, to the north, South River Road, and over to the south, to Goldensville Road. These areas, again, are scheduled for June or July releases. GCV 20, 21, 22, and 23 are now estimated to be open for sale as of July or August timeframe. These areas are north of the area along Ladysmith Road, in that area, including Page Road, from Route 301 all the way to Route 1, and areas north through Woodford and Guinea. Again, these areas pictured on the map, GCV 20, 21, 22, and 23, are scheduled for sale as of July or August. GCV 24, 25, and 26 are now estimated to be open for sale in August or September timeframe. That's the areas along Stonewall Jackson Road over to Thornburg, as well as the areas Peppermire Hill Road up to Route 17 and 17 down, and then east of Route 17 over to the Rappahannock River. Again, pictured on this map, if you live in these areas, currently the projections are for 24, 25, and 26. The projections are that they should be open for sale in August or September of this year. Once these areas are completed, the majority of the project would be considered substantially complete. Some of you are probably wondering, if it's going to be complete in August, why is there a need for an extension? Well, there's some delays in the project that have caused the need to request this extension. However, to date, 198 miles have been completed with a large amount of additional fiber in the ground that will be completed and showing in these reports shortly. As of this evening, 2,170 plus homes are now serviceable that were not serviced prior to this project. Work is ongoing throughout the project areas north of that 207-301 area. The total fiber of this project is expected to be slightly under the originally estimated 439 miles fiber. This is due to changes in design as the project progresses. The majority of the work, again, will be completed prior to the original October 2026 deadline. There have been some delays throughout the project, including weather, property access due to easement issues, and agricultural restrictions prohibiting access during the planting season. Let's talk about the agricultural impacts. As we work to complete the project by October, there may be some areas that we cannot get into agricultural fields. Access to these fields will not be during the planting or harvesting season, so it will be late fall before these areas can be completed. These fields are necessary for aerial construction and will be delayed until post-harvest. Other areas continue to be constructed around these agricultural areas to minimize the delays. Private drives and long access. Long private drives remain to be constructed. Now, this is very important. Multi-residence coordination. So if you have more than, say, 1 or 2 houses on a driveway, so you have a private driveway that has 3 houses, this is considered a private drive. This area along these driveways are private roads. Therefore, BreezeLine cannot access those roads to complete the construction to your house. Even if your house is below that 207-301 line, the areas that are already open for sale, they will require an additional paperwork to be done with BreezeLine in order to allow them to construct to your home. Outreach is ongoing by BreezeLine. They are sending letters to all affected property owners, asking for that property owner to reach out to them. Additionally, Caroline County will be sending long letters to the property owners along these long drives and private roads, notifying them that there will need to be agreements signed prior to the service being installed. If you live on a private drive, please be on the lookout for a letter from BreezeLine and from Caroline County with instructions on how to proceed with construction. This is very important. Be on the lookout for those letters if you live on a private drive. Unfinished private drives are not eligible after the closeout, and so therefore an extension of the grant and response from the property owners will address this issue. Again, if you get that letter, it is imperative that you reach out to BreezeLine. The biggest reason for the 6-month extension to the project is to allow construction to be completed to these driveways prior to the project closeout. Once the project is closed out, property owners who do not respond or refuse permission will be removed from the grant and may bear the future cost of construction if they choose later to take the service. It's very important, if you receive a letter, even if you have no intention to sign up for service, consider giving property access so that your drive can be constructed during the grant. Again, property not constructed during the grant will be removed from the grant, and the property owner will be responsible for the cost of constructing back to that house. Notification letters are being sent by both BreezeLine and Caroline County to the affected properties as they're being identified. Long private drives remain to be constructed. The project is largely on track to substantially complete by October of this year. This extension ensures that we are able to complete the long drives prior to the project closeout. Caroline County remains committed to broadband access for all the residents of the county. Addresses in the Charlesburg area that were not included in the 2023 grant with Verizon will be served by iWisp. This is a BEAD project that Caroline County is not directly involved in. iWisp estimates the construction of this project to begin in July and will take approximately 12 months to complete. Addresses on Wrightsville Road, Smoots, and Chase Street that were not included in the 2023 grant are currently scheduled to be serviced by Starlink. However, the Caroline County Board of Supervisors has directed the Broadband Advisory Committee to explore other options for the houses that were not in the VATI 2023 grant. That work is ongoing, and hopefully options will be provided shortly. Members of the Broadband Advisory Committee are reporting that they're receiving questions from different people throughout the project. So we'll cover a few of those this evening. The first example is, my driveway is a long drive with 2 or 3 houses. What should I do to ensure that I can get service? Again, if you live on a long drive with 2 or 3 houses on that driveway, you should be receiving a letter from BreezeLine. If not, we'll show you the best action to take to make sure that you get service. The next question, I've completed all the paperwork for my long drive and have not heard anything from BreezeLine. Again, BreezeLine is in the process of organizing and submitting all those easements to the circuit court. Therefore, there is a delay at this point. However, if you have a question or you're unsure, we'll show you the action to take next. I have an issue that needs someone to look at it related to construction of service to my house. For example, a conduit's not buried correctly or buried in an area that it may need to be moved. What action do I take? Again, I'll show you the next slide will answer that question. If you need answers to questions or any additional information about this project, please use the Submit Your Question button that's located on the Broadband page of the Caroline County website. The Caroline County website is available both by computer and on your cell phone through a mobile browser, so you should be able to get to that. Our next broadband update will be June the 15th, 2026. This can be viewed, like this report, on the county YouTube site, or information on the project can be received from the county website, https://co.caroline.va.us, and then click the Broadband tab. Again, thank you for your attention. Thanks to all those citizens that are remaining engaged in this project, and we are looking forward to being able to wrap this project up and bring service to the unserved houses in Caroline County. Thank you and have a good evening.